Hearing this, Jung felt a bit uneasy and said to his wife, "Let's not scare each other. I've already been through a shock since I left home. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's hurry home." He quickly helped his wife gather her things, turned off the lights in the office, locked the door, and accompanied her to the elevator to go downstairs. At that moment, Jung suddenly remembered something and said to his wife, "By the way, didn't you say that the elevator in your company often has problems at night?" His wife gave him a stern look and said, "What are you talking about? Spit it out. Don't jinx it. It's late at night. How are we supposed to get downstairs without the elevator? Walk down the stairs. The entire staircase is enclosed, and we're scared to go there even during the day. Don't joke around. Let's just hurry down." Jung quickly tried to smooth things over, saying, "I was just making a comment. It's okay, let's hurry down." The couple entered the elevator and pressed the button for the first floor. The elevator doors closed and it began to descend. As it approached the 9th floor, something seemed off. The elevator made a loud grinding noise, clank, 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 clank. The sound grew heavier and suddenly the elevator car started to sway. Jung's heart leapt into his throat. He couldn't believe it. What he feared the most was happening. Suddenly the car lurched violently. Then, with a pop, the lights in the elevator went out. The elevator swayed again, and as the lights went dark, everything was pitch black. "Oh my God," the wife exclaimed, terrified. She immediately buried herself in Jung's arms, crying and scolding him. "It's all your fault with that bad mouth of yours. Why did you have to say anything?" At that moment, the elevator had stopped. Jung was also extremely anxious, holding his wife tightly. He didn't dare to make a sound. All he could hear was the thud, thud, thud from the top of the elevator. The car shook again, as if several people had suddenly landed on the roof of the car. Then the car began to sway violently. Jung, tense, held his wife close to his back, pressing himself against the rear wall of the elevator. His wife continued to cry in his arms. Just as the couple was at their wits' end, they suddenly heard a few meows from the top of the car. The meows were not loud, but after they sounded, the swaying of the car began to decrease and then stopped. There was a series of crunch-crunch noises and cat hisses. The thud, thud, thud sounds continued, leaving the couple completely at a loss. As they stood there in shock, the noises above their heads gradually diminished. After about a minute, the elevator slowly stopped swaying. Then the lights flickered a few times and came back on returning to normal. The elevator began to descend again. The couple pressed themselves against the wall, too scared to move or press any buttons. The elevator slowly continued downward and finally stopped at the first floor where the doors opened. "Oh my God, we're finally out," Jung exclaimed, almost dragging his wife out of the elevator. As soon as they were out, he shouted, "Security, is anyone here?" There should have been a security guard on duty on this floor, but he was now here to be seen. Jung didn't have time to worry about that. He helped his wife out of the building and found a slightly brighter spot outside, where they sat on the roadside and caught their breath for a long time before they could calm down. They quickly got a taxi and went home. When they got close to their home and got out of the car, Jung told his wife about the sleep paralysis he had experienced before leaving the house. He mentioned that it was only after hearing a cat's meow that he was able to move again. Hearing this, his wife's first thought was that it must have been the white cat under their window that had saved him. "Is that white cat still there?" "It must have been the cat that saved you," she said. Jung replied, "It should still be there. I covered it with a piece of cardboard before I left. Let's go check." The couple hurried to the building and saw that the white cat was still under the window, covered with the cardboard. They lifted the cardboard, but the cat didn't move. It appeared to be dead. The wife was very upset and said to Jung, "We have to bury this poor cat properly." We can't just leave it here. Given the situation, Zhejiang didn't argue and quickly went home to get some tools. Together, they buried the cat's body in a corner of a small garden not far from their home. In the following days, the wife didn't go to work. When she finally returned to the office, she immediately handed in her resignation. Since her resignation was so sudden, it caused some friction with her boss and the HR department. But she didn't care. She was determined to quit and leave that building behind. Zhejiang accompanied her to handle the resignation and take care of the follow-up procedures. The wife took a break for nearly a month, during which she traveled to Yunnan with her mother in law to relax. After returning, she quickly started working at another company. Sometime later, the wife talked to a colleague from her previous company and mentioned what had happened. The colleague revealed that shortly after the wife resigned, many people taking the elevator began to smell a foul odor inside the car. The smell grew stronger and stronger until it became unbearable. Eventually, they had no choice but to complain to the property management and call in the elevator maintenance personnel. Upon inspection, the maintenance crew discovered four highly decomposed cat corpses on the roof of one of the elevator cars. Each of the 4 dead cats had a child's cloth shoe in its mouth, to red and to blue, all with blood stains. It was unclear whether the blood was human or feline. Many employees in the building were aware of the incident, but the wife's colleagues were unclear about how it was handled afterward. Since that event, the company began to see a continuous stream of resignations, especially among female employees who no longer wished to work there. Although the wife had not resigned, she also lost her enthusiasm for work, and the company's performance deteriorated significantly compared to before. As for Zhejiang's experience with sleep paralysis and the strange footsteps in the house, his wife later suggested that it might be related to an incident she had encountered at the company, which she only recalled later. On one occasion, the wife had been working late at the office. She went downstairs to buy instant noodles and snacks, and then returned to the 13th floor via the elevator. As she was about to leave the elevator with her food, she almost tripped. She had stepped on something. Before she could fall, she looked back and saw a pair of men's leather shoes placed at the elevator entrance. They were positioned awkwardly and were quite dirty. The wife hadn't noticed them when she stepped out and almost fell. She was furious, thinking that someone in the company was playing a prank by placing such dirty shoes at the elevator entrance. She stomped on the shoes a few times and then kicked them over to the trash can. When she entered the office, still angry, she asked, "Who did this? Who put these dirty shoes at the elevator entrance? What's the point?" After asking around for a while, all her colleagues claimed they had no idea what had happened. When they finished their overtime work and left together, the dirty shoes by the trash can were gone. Had the cleaning staff taken them away? It was quite late, so there probably wasn't any cleaning staff around, but the wife didn't pay much attention to it at the time. Later, after the incident, she wondered if it might be related. The wife said, "Could it be that I offended some malevolent spirit? It wanted to get me, but since I wasn't home, it got you instead." At that moment, Zhejiang was also covered in cold sweat. The stray cats opposite Zhejiang's balcony continued to favor the spot right in front of their home, basking in the sun, napping and playing there, but never going anywhere else. After that incident, Zhejiang and his wife would often leave food out for the cats. Even after all these years, the stray cats still only appeared during the day and disappeared at night. As for the wife, she never saw that majestic white cat again after that time. Since leaving that company, her career has been very successful, and she and Zhejiang now have a very lovely little daughter. Interestingly, their daughter has loved cats since she was very young. Even before she could speak, she would smile happily whenever she saw a cat. Now that she is over 3 years old, she can't resist cat toys. In any case, the whole family has a strong affinity for cats. Jung and his wife both feel that they have been blessed and helped by cats in some mysterious way. As for whether there is any connection between these events and the stray cats the wife saw late that night, it remains unknown.